you it will be a memorable event in your life, and we're thrilled that you're going to come here and spend the next 3 years with us. If you've been around here for a while, then you already know what an awesome place this is, and you actually see some juniors and seniors in the crowd, so we're going to put you through this one more time to make sure that all those decisions you're making are the best ones. This registration process starts tonight. It goes through about February 21st. That is a couple weeks worth of time to make these decisions. So know that you might not get all of your questions answered tonight, and if you don't, we will be here later tonight and every day between now and February 21st to help you get those questions answered. So we'll start with our very capable counselors giving you some information, and then following that, we will all be around until 8 o'clock tonight to maybe answer any questions you might have. And like I said, we will be here pretty much every day between now and June 6th or so. So be sure you let us know what your concerns are. So I'll turn it over to the counselors.
Thank you. So my name is Carolyn Gibbons. I'm one of the counselors here. We're going to take you through some information, kind of some course requirements that your kid needs for graduation, ways to plan out for the future, talk a little bit about PSEO. So we'll talk about a bunch of different stuff, and hopefully if we don't answer your question now, feel free to stop by the counselor table on the way out and get your specific questions answered too. Just real quick, I'm sorry. We have 5 different counselors here. Most students are assigned to a counselor by their last name. The first of our alphabet is Erica Lang, and she's right over here. The next part of the alphabet is Mike Jensen, who is also here with us today. And then we have Miss Dranks DeVeet. For those of you who've been around for a while, she's the one that took over the spot for Marguerite Wenzel, and she has students M through R. And then Mr. Kelly is here for the last part of the alphabet, and both of them are around if you have questions specific to your student. And then, like I said earlier, my name is Carolyn Gibbons, and I have kind of a unique role that I work with a specific set of students. So most of those students know who I am, and I think I've talked with most of their parents as well. One of the things that we really wanted your kids to do, and we talked about already at the junior highs, and we'll talk about with the high school students, is that we want what you're doing now to feel meaningful and relevant, which sometimes things like, I don't know, World War II don't necessarily connect right away with your student to what do they want for the rest of their life. But our hope is that they kind of connect the three C's. The high school courses that they're picking right now, to college, which for some kids might be a 4-year school, for some kids might be an apprenticeship or a 2-year training program, but college, whatever that looks like for their future. And then ultimately to a career that they can love and enjoy and be willing to do for the next 50 or so years of their life. So that's our goal for your students and what we've shared with them. We want them to leave these halls after their senior year with something they can hold on to and a kind of a career path and a decision of where to go. One of the things that we have tried to do with your students and will continue to do is work on a course plan. So not just sign up for classes for next year, but kind of figure out what is this going to look like all the way 9 to 12? How do I get everything into my schedule that I want to do? What should I focus on? We do this through a website called Family Connection. There's a link for it on the Shakopee homepage. The course planning piece is not something we do in 2 weeks. It's not going to be done by February 21st. It's going to kind of grow and change with your student as they grow and change. We look at it over days, weeks, months, kind of help your student do that as well. We use a lot of Family Connection. Our hope is that some of those students have showed that to you at home. Like, here's what we talked about at school today, here's what I'm thinking about for the future. Definitely something we encourage them to talk over with their parent and guardian. Part of that is they can actually select a graduation plan in that computer program, which will hopefully line up with what they want to do after high school. Maybe it is to play NCAA sports, maybe it's to go to super selective for-year college, maybe regular college. They'll select a plan, and that will help them pick classes that kind of fit through that. There is a short video here that kind of tells how to go about doing that, and how you as a parent can access it and how your student can access it.
Okay guys, so I'm going to show you today how to create your course plans for graduation. It's very easy, you just have to spend a little time at it, and it's actually probably kind of fun. So in order to get logged on to Family Connection, which is the website you'll be using to do your course planning, simply if you're at home or anywhere you have internet, you can just start from the high school website. So you need to navigate to Shakopee's public school website. You can just Google Shakopee Schools. I know a lot of you already know how to do this, but in case you don't, I'm going to show you anyway. Click on Shakopee Public Schools link at the top. On the district homepage, which is where we are right now, you'll see a drop down at the top to navigate to the schools. You're going to want to click that and choose Shakopee High School. Alright, so now we're on the high school website. On the left hand side in quick links, or several links, we're looking for Family Connection. You click Family Connection. You'll see some information about Family Connection, login information. Your username is your student ID number. Your password is your date of birth as 8 digits. A lot of students get tripped up on the 8 digits thing. Make sure you put in your leading zeros if you have a month or date that starts with a single digit. So click on the link. It'll redirect you. Here's the login page for Family Connection for the high school. Your username is your student ID. I'm going to be using a fictitious student today. His username is 1234, that's his ID number, and his password is his date of birth again, January 1st, so 01, 01, and then the year is 1999 for him. Click Login. And here we are on the home page of Phineas Flynn's Family Connection site. For course planning, obviously at the top we're going to use the Courses tab. There's also Colleges, Careers, About Me, and My Planner. If you haven't spent much time in Family Connection, I highly encourage you to take some time to explore. So click on Courses. We're going to be working within My Course Plans, and we're going to be managing My Course Plans to create the actual course plan. So click on that. Phineas doesn't have a plan yet even started, so we're going to click on Add a New Plan right here, the blue button. Can't miss it. We're going to be starting a brand new plan from scratch, so click on Create. And here are the plans that are available for him to choose from. He's going to be, for demonstration purposes today, he's going to choose the 4-year college prep plan of study, so choose this one. If you don't know which one to choose, spend some time speaking with your parents or trusted teachers or anyone that you know that might be helpful to you. Hopefully you have a goal in mind. This is key to this process. Click on choose this one. It's taking some time to load. Okay. Whoa. Alright, so we have a 4-year college prep plan of study draft, and you'll see over here on the left hand side of the screen those are the required areas for graduation. On the right hand side you'll see the grade or your draft plan and which grade you're going to be doing the courses that you choose. I'll just start with English to show you for demonstration purposes. English, grade 9, grade 10, grade 11, grade 12. Okay? So, and then at the top you'll see this bar. It shows you how many credits you have in your plan. Pay attention to that to know that you have the right number. For English you need at least 8. So Phineas is going to do regular English 9. Regular English 10. He's going to do English 11, A and B for grade 11, and then he's pretty sure that he wants to do college writing and world lit for his senior year. Okay, click Add to your courses. It's going to double check to make sure you have the grade year correct. In our case we do. Click OK. And as you'll see, we have 8 credits built in, and it tells you which year you have them. And then on the right hand side your draft plan is built with by grade, which subject areas. So for now I'm going to pause it and I'm going to build the rest of this plan, and then we'll rejoin in just a second. Okay guys, so I've finished building Phineas's graduation plan. He's planning again to go to a 4-year college. I've worked my way through the required areas on the left hand screen: English, social studies. You saw me do English. Social studies, he's got human geography, modern U.S. history, modern world history, psychology, and U.S. econ. and you can see the bar has gone to 8. Same with science, you'll see here. He's got 8 credits of science. Math, 8 credits of math. In fine art area, he has 2 credits, the required 2 credits. Health, just 1 credit required here. Phys ed, he's taken PE 9 at Lifetime Sports to give us 2 credits. We're going to skip electives for a second. We're going to jump down to world language. Not required to graduate, but for a 4-year college, it's required for admission. He's going to do 2 years, Spanish 1 in 10th grade and Spanish 2 in 11th grade. He's got the 4 credits that are required. However, over here you'll see this red triangle. Don't be confused by that. The computer wants you to take a year of Spanish each of the 4 years. You don't need that though. For a 4-year college, you just need 2. So as long as you have 4, you're good to go, even though the red triangle is present. In the elective area, the minimum is 7 credits. Phineas is going to take more than that. He has some areas he wants to explore. He's got credits for 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, and he's going to reward himself with a study hall in grade 12. On the right-hand side, again, you'll see your draft plan, grade 9. You should have at least 14 here, including study halls if you want study halls. Grade 10, same thing, at least 14, including study halls. Grade 11, at least 14, and grade 12, at least 14. So all in all, Phineas's plan is completed. We're going to go to step 3 here, review and finalize. You can sort these by required area, as you'll see English, math, science, social studies, etc. Or if you click on the tab, you can see it by grade level, 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, and 12th grade. One of the best parts about using course planning tool is to scan your plan. You'll see how what you're planning to do lines up with what your college hopes are. Phineas already have colleges in his list, so we'll see what it looks like. His college power score is in the upper 4-year selective college area. Okay. And here are the colleges that are on his list, and you'll see even Harvard, he meets the entrance requirements. UMD, he exceeds, etc. on down. So if you put colleges on your list, you'll see whether or not your grad plan meets their entrance requirements. When he's finished with that, he's going to submit for approval. Click on this. The box says this will submit this draft plan to your counselor for review. Click OK. And you, my friend, are done planning your courses for graduation, all 4 years. If you want to continue and add a second plan, let's say, well, I'm not sure I want to go to a 4-year college, start again. You can start a brand new plan, or you can use the same courses and adjust. We'll do that. Let's say we wanted to perhaps go to a 2-year college. Maybe that's on our list as well. We could create a plan for that just based on that. So there's 2-year college. Click this one. And you can repeat the process again and have several plans in place for graduation. If you have questions, please see your counselor or call the high school and get connected with a counselor over here as well.
You can put it in Campus Portal, which will be the actual classes you're picking for next year. So we're going from the plan, here's what I want to do, here's what makes sense for 4 years, take that information, put it in for next year. That information that we just went over for Family Connection, that's a great thing to look at with your student. Make sure that you guys are on the same page, that the student is telling you what their plans are, and then you kind of move forward from there. The Campus Portal is internet-based, so you can access it from anywhere. And so when it comes to actually entering for next year, to make sure your student entered the right thing and didn't suddenly swap their mind when you weren't looking, you can certainly do that with them. Like I said, when they meet with their counselor, they'll get their transcript and their registration sheet. I believe maybe some people are getting them at the door today as well. So the different plans they can choose from, again, this is more the course planning piece. They can choose a 2-year college prep plan that we're talking like Normandale, Hennepin Tech, maybe more a training type program. Getting ready for the military or work, or a 4-year college, or if they want to play a sport at a Division I or Division II level, they should choose that plan. There's certain classes that the NCAA colleges require, so that makes sure they get the right ones for that. And then a highly selective prep plan, and that's the really challenging colleges to get into. So depending on what your student is leaning towards, those are kind of the options for them in that course planning tool. And then there's also a few customized ones. I'm actually going to turn it over to Ms. Lang right now. She's going to talk a little bit more about the difference between course planning and registration.
All right, hello. Okay, so a couple of definitions, which, whoops, and I have to know how to use this. Okay, so just some things to remember. So most of our classes each semester are worth 1 full credit at the high school. I know at the junior high there's some that are half credits, stuff like that, but when you get up here, everything's worth a full credit. There are some that are actually worth more, and we have a couple of examples. A lot of our CIS, college and the school classes, are worth more than 1. We have classes that take place over in Chaska, the co-op classes. Those are worth more than 1. And there's a few others too. But if you look in the course guide, the registration guide, you'll see what they're all worth for each one. And just a couple other things to remember. If you see a course that you're signing up for and it has an A after it, it will always have a B as well. That means it's a full year class. The A is first semester, the B is second semester. They have to go together on your sheet, if that makes sense. Classes without an A or a B are just 1 semester classes. They can fall usually into either semester. Another thing that we like to point out to our students, and just to remind all of you, is what a prerequisite is. Bottom line is it's a class that you have to have before you have another class. So if your student is signing up for Spanish 2, they also need to have completed Spanish 1. Another example that might not be as easy to remember is a lot of students want to take photography. The prerequisite for that is Intro to Art. They have to have had that class first. You will find all of that information also in the registration guide, which is available online on our website again, under registration materials. Teachers do check their rosters every semester coming into the new school year and in the middle. If a student doesn't have that prerequisite, they will get pulled out and have to find a new class, which can be kind of a pain. So just kind of keep an eye on those so they're in the right classes from the beginning. All right, so we're going to go through just kind of each subject area so you know what your student needs to graduate once all is said and done. And we kind of go through each year. So English, you need 8 credits total to graduate, which means English every semester, all 4 years. 9th graders, it's English 9, some version of it, 2 credits all year. Our 10th graders are in English 10, either an honors version, regular, or there's other versions of it as well, depending on what level they're at. New for next year, actually, so if you have a student going into 11th grade next year, that's actually changing. English 11 is now the class for our 11th graders, and it's all year. So that would be their choice for that. If your student is a higher level student, there is a CIS literature class that's offered all year as well. And you'll see that on the registration sheet. And then senior year, English 12. If you have a senior next year, you will find that they are finishing their 4 separate credits of English. If you have questions about those specifics, definitely your student should know, but you can find one of us as well on what they have left to take. Social studies is the same as far as 8 credits, so social studies every year, all 4 years, every semester. Right now, 9th graders, if you have one, are in social studies 9, a version of it. And then 10th graders take US history for a year, and there is a regular and an AP version, which is advanced placement. And then 11th grade is world history, same option, regular or advanced placement. And then senior year, they take a semester of US economics, and then a semester of a social studies elective, and there are choices for that in the guide. Then we come to math, which gets a little bit complicated, in just that every student is in a little bit of a different place. So you need 6 credits of math to graduate. I'm just going to put this all up here. If your student is successful in math, they've passed everything up through 11th grade, if they want to be done with it for graduation, they can after 11th grade. We encourage students to keep going with math. And as the senior, it helps them in numerous ways. But check with your student's current math teacher, have them check with them to see what the next sequence is, or talk to one of us. Because again, everyone's at a different level. But just in general, if your student's in geometry right now, next year would be Algebra 2. If they're in Algebra 2 right now, regular Algebra 2, next year is Algebra 3. If they happen to be in Accelerated Algebra 2, next year is Pre-Calc, and then after Pre-Calc, if they're in that right now, usually it's CIS Calc or AP Stats. But it can get confusing, so just check with the teacher or with one of us and we can help to make sure they have what they need. Science is the same as far as credits. You need 6 science credits. So again, they could be done after 11th grade if they wanted to, but we encourage them to keep taking science through their senior year as well. 9th graders usually take physical science. We know there's different paths in 9th grade as well. And then 10th grade biology, 11th grade chemistry or physics. And then senior year, there's electives beyond that, human anatomy, healthcare core, different stuff. Again, if your student, depending on where they're at, if you're kind of wondering, well, what comes next, just talk to one of us or talk to their science teacher. So you're making sure they're getting the right one for next year. And then comes Phy Ed and Health. This area, they need 3 credits total. So in 9th grade, they need a Phy Ed 9. And then at some point, between 10th, 11th, and 12th grade, they need 1 more credit of Phy Ed. And the key part to this, which we point out to all of our students, is that last credit needs to be one of those 3 classes. So we have lots of Phy Ed credits to pick from. The one that counts for graduation has to be one of those 3. Okay? And then the last part is the health credit. It's called Healthy Lifestyles. Every student has to take it. It's a 1 semester class. But again, that PE 10 through 12 and health can be taken at any point through 10th, 11th, or 12th grade. It doesn't have to be in 10th grade. And, okay. Fine arts. This is kind of the last area to keep track of. You need 2 credits of fine arts to graduate. Here are some examples, but the list, why is that still on there? Oh well, ignore the PE part at the bottom. The list of fine arts is on page 2 of the course guide. Just know that it's a lot longer than this, and it can include some classes that you may not think of. We have a web design class, we have a textile arts class, we have some different things that count as art, woods, different stuff like that that you may not think of. So you can check on that, but they need 2 credits to graduate. Once a student gets those 2 credits, anything beyond that, if they keep taking the fine arts classes, they just count as regular electives. And then the electives part, just a few things we want students to remember. We don't want them to worry about counting their electives. Sometimes they get caught up on that. If your student is taking the required course areas, like I just talked about, every year, and then filling in their schedule with 6 or 7 classes each semester, their electives are happening automatically. So they just are falling into place. As long as they're passing their classes, they're going to have enough to graduate. That's what both of those are about. And like I said before, so anything that is above and beyond the actual requirements that I just talked about falls into that elective category. So if they're taking math and science their senior year, those are actually elective credits. Okay? Have we said anywhere that it's 48 credits to graduate? Awesome. Okay, sorry. All right. A couple other things that we want to point out is there's different levels and versions of our more rigorous classes, and we want to make sure you know what those mean. Our AP classes are advanced placement. The difference, actually, that's starting next year is that AP classes are open to anybody. They're open enrollment. There's not a GPA requirement or a certain test score that you need to get in. They are open to anybody to take. We want to remind you that they're higher level classes. It's more rigorous. There's more homework outside of the school day. So if you're thinking your student wants to do that, just make sure they're aware and ready for that workload. With advanced placement, there is a test in May on the course subject materials that they've had all year. And depending on how they score on that test, their college that they apply to could give them credit for it. So that's the perk also of an AP class. And then if you look at the college and the schools classes, we have those at the 11th and 12th grade level. They are University of Minnesota classes that are taught here at the high school. So it's U of M curriculum. The student, if they pass the class, actually get automatically U of M credit plus high school credit. So it's a great deal. There is rank and GPA requirements, and you'll find those in the course registration book. All of them have different requirements depending on the class, but students can get a lot of college credits out of those classes if they qualify. And then honors. The honors track is another version of things that you can put your students in or get your students in. The honors track is something that just happens for students. So if your student is already in honors, they will just continue on that track if that's what they're in and they're doing well. So if they're in honors English right now, they'll be in honors English next year, if that makes sense. If your student wants to get into an honors class and they are not right now in that track, you do need to talk to one of your student's counselors or the high potential coordinator. It's probably easier to find the counselor because there is a process that we're going to look at test scores, stuff like that, and then see if they would qualify to get in. Okay, so that's the difference between all of those. Yes. All right, and then another option for a little bit of 10th and then our 11th and 12th graders is PSEO. Stands for Post-Secondary Enrollment Options. It is taking college classes actually at that college. So you're not here at the high school, you're going to Normandale or you're going to the U of M, Hennepin Tech. Those are kind of the popular ones for our students. And each of those colleges have their own requirements for students to get in. For example, Normandale, they say as a junior, if you want to do PSEO, you have to be in the top third of your class. As a senior, the top half of your class. The U of M has a completely set of different requirements. They're usually looking at the top 10% of a class, and there's just a lot more that goes into their application, but every school has some different requirements to get in. The classes are on campus. Your student is like a college student. They pick the times when they want the classes. They can do the online classes that are available as well. You can do full or part-time. Most of our students do full-time because it's just easier than coming back and forth to the high school, but we do have some students that will take a couple classes here and then the rest at the college campus. And this is just something to keep in mind if we have students that start out their junior year and go full-time, they, by the end of their senior year, could have their AA degree already. It's fully paid for. You don't pay for any books. You don't pay for anything. That's the great part about PSEO. If your student happens to be on a free and reduced lunch, there is transportation options because you do have to get yourself to the campus. But there are options for transportation if your student falls into that area. So you can talk to one of us about that. And then for getting involved with PSEO, the big thing we want to say is your student needs to still fill out everything like they're going to be here next year at the high school. But then in March at some point, we usually remind students, if you're interested in PSEO, come and make an appointment with us. We'll go over the application with you, kind of how it all works, how to pick classes that fit your requirements here, campus, all the details that you need to know. So it's nothing you need to worry about yet, but coming up in a month or so, that's when you'll get that figured out. All right, Mr. Johnson.
All right, thanks for sticking with us. Planning for college, some things to think about. In choosing the appropriate plan, your course plan, the ones that they do in Family Connection, as long as they follow that plan, let's say they chose a 4-year plan, if they take the courses that are prescribed in the plan,
they will be ready for college, at least from the admitted side. Okay? Now how they do in grades and how they're prepared that way is different, but at least the requirements that are necessary for admittance will be met by following the appropriate plan. We encourage all students to always take more math and science. If they do a 4-year college plan, either the 4-year, the NCAA, or the highly selective course plan of study, the math and science is built into those plans. They have to take it. That's part of the being prepared part. 2 years of the same world language. Again, if they do a 4-year plan or better, the 2 years will be required in the course plan. If they choose a 2-year college or a workforce or a military plan of study, the world language and the 4th year of math and science are not included in those plans. Students can still choose to do those within those plans. They just customize their plan from that point. We'll help them with that. Always access the admission requirements of the schools in which you're interested. It's never too early to look at that. We encourage even 9th graders last week in our talks. If you don't know what your college is looking for admission, it's never too early to check. So go on their website, you can access all that information right through Family Connection. Students know how to do that. So what if I fail classes? Hopefully this is never your situation, but we do come across it from time to time. We want to remind students and families that failing 1 or 2 courses each semester would mean that your student will not graduate on time unless they do something to recover those missing credits. If your student has failed courses, schedule an appointment with your counselor and we'll get a recovery plan in place for them. We encourage students to do that. We also pull F-lists every semester and we try and locate those students as well, but it's good to have more eyes looking at that, the better. All right, credit makeup options. So if they do fail a class, these are the things that we can do for them. We can retake the class. You just register for it again for the next year and take it just like you did the first time. There's summer school options for the core, math, English, science, social studies. Apex online credit recovery. That's done during the school day here. We have Apex study halls, we call them. Students will meet with us, we'll complete a form, get them registered for Apex, and we can recover math, English, science, social studies, health, some other electives as well through Apex Online Credit Recovery. And then we also have a night school program. It's not really at night, it's from about 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock. And again, math and, English and social studies are offered in our night school program. So if your student is in that situation, please encourage them to meet with us for a plan. All right, in your registration guide you'll see tonight, and also through Family Connection, there's some current technical program options offered through Southwest Metro Educational Cooperative. It used to be called Carver Scott Educational Cooperative. They just changed the name recently. Students would just register for these just like any other course. It's in the registration guide and again in their Family Connection plan. Courses are available to students grades 11 through 12. We have 10 up there. We've had some sophomores that could take those classes. If a 10th grader is interested, have them meet with us and we'll see if we can get that arranged for them. But classically, it's for grades 11 and 12. The course offerings are listed there: agriculture, auto mechanics, computer networking, computer repair, construction technology, cosmetology, criminal justice, graphic design and printing, medical careers, and photography. So the list is pretty long. And those are usually 2 credits for each semester, so 4 credits a year if they do these courses. All right, graduation policy. Big deal with some families. Seniors must have at least 46 credits at the conclusion of their senior year in order to be able to participate in the graduation ceremony. And we do count. We look right at the very last day of school, make sure they have their 46. We hate having to make that phone call. If the student didn't make the 46 and they can't walk in with their class at graduation. That's a very big deal to parents especially. To actually receive their diploma on graduation night, they have to have at least 48 credits completed, inclusive of the requirements we listed before, to receive their diploma on graduation night. And again, if they follow those graduation plans, if they do the courses that they selected, making sure that they have their 48 just falls right into the plan. Okay, so registration is in comparison to course planning. As we said earlier, course planning takes place over time. Days, months, weeks. Registration, as you know, is very short. In a matter of days, maybe weeks, the students will register for the next school year. Students and parents will do this on their own, hopefully, through Infinite Campus. Teachers, counselors, advisors, we're all here to help. If a student has questions about how to register, please point them in our direction. We'll be happy to sit down with them and walk them through it. And then if you need help, just call the Career Center. The number is listed there. You can schedule an appointment with us. How do I register? Step 1, using your course plan that we're going to do with your students over the next couple weeks, they will complete the registration sheet. And a lot of you got those tonight. Just write off their course plan, they write their courses on the registration sheet. It's that easy. Once they have their courses on their sheet, they will log into Infinite Campus and actually put their course numbers in and register for the next school year.
Okay, Shakopee High School students, parents, and staff, I wanted to show you real quick just how easy it is to use Infinite Campus to do your registration. Just remember now the difference between course planning. You use Family Connection for course planning, and in course planning you plan out all 4 years, 9th through 12th grade, so that it lines up with your future plans. Registration is just simply putting your course requests into the Infinite Campus system so that your courses are available to you the next school year only. So starting from the district website, just click on Infinite Campus at the top, the little red book with the A+ on it. I'm sure all of you have access to your grades this way, so click on that. Once you're in at the portal login, put in your username and password just like you always do. Get logged into the portal. Now that you're at the portal, very easy. Right at the top you'll see a button that says Course Registration Senior High School 14-15. Just click on it. At the top here you'll see I actually have some courses in for this student already, but you'll use this course search button. So click on course search, and I'm just going to type in one class only just to make it really easy. I'm going to put a study hall in, and I know that the course number using my registration sheet for study halls is $29.99 for spring semester study hall. So click go. There's the course right there. Click on study hall. Request this course. That means it will put it into your course request, or if you want to put it in as an alternate, you have to do at least 4 of those. Click on request as an alternate. So you need to decide whether or not it's your first choice or an alternate choice. So I'm going to put it in as request, and there you'll see there's requested courses. Right here she happens to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 requested courses, and you need to have at least 14 including your study halls plus your minimum of 4 alternate elective courses. That's all it is. Log out and you are done. Just that easy. If you have questions, please see a counselor and they can help you.
Step 3, then once you've done all that, you've done your Infinite Campus work, take your registration sheets, students, and turn them in at the Career Center. Deadlines. All course requests must be entered into Infinite Campus portal by 3 o'clock on the 21st. Oops, that was backwards, sorry. The portal opens tomorrow at 11, so they'll have 10 days roughly to do that. And again, bring your registration sheets to the Career Center by 3 o'clock on the 21st. So let's review. Please make sure that this is a family affair. We want parents included on this. Review your graduation plan from Family Connection, which we will be doing with students in the next couple weeks. Complete the registration sheet using your graduation plan. Enter courses into Infinite Campus portal. And then submit the sheet to the Career Center or Saber Pause Advisor for 9th graders. So we think that's it. Thank you.